And actually, rumor is we have some alpha coming out of Polkadot. Is that right? You're bringing you riled this guy in to our group here because he's got some inside information.
Yeah, it was awesome. We all talked at Spaces. That's why we love Spaces, right? We get to meet all kinds of interesting people, really smart people, people that are building and doing things, right? So, yeah, Sam Elamin's awesome guy. You know, he's an engineer and an advocate for the MBU network. He's a thought leader in this space and believes that you can never fail. You can only learn, Tim.
That's
so
right.
That's how you do it, right? That's how this things work. So I want to welcome him on because he does have some alpha, right, about what he's got going on.
Now, Sam, there's a record for, I think it's like 6 seconds on when you drop your alpha, into the show. We had a guest on that started right out with their mint date, which was pretty funny.
No.
You can tease people along just a little bit, but it was it's funny that I don't know if
we're launching.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So how's it going? What you been up to, Sam?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank you so much for hosting me. I always, virtually every single space I speak on right now I always talk about the experience I had when I came on the Bees Marathon. Just the amount of knowledge sharing and education and raising awareness around Web3 and collaboration has just been immense. I don't think it's been, and I'm starting to see you guys have set the standard of what collaboration looks like. Before what you guys did, it's all been tribalistic. It'd be like, we're on Cardano, we're better than Polkadot, we're on Polkadot better than Ethereum, no, we're actually on Polygon. It was all infighting, which is, ironic, because if you take a massive step back, the crypto communities, a tiny minority compared to the rest of the world population. We can't afford to be infighting. And what you guys did was you just destroyed those barriers. And you said, let's talk about what we can build together to move towards innovation and mass adoption. And then I highly appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no, and it was, and it's all of us learning together and figuring this out, because no one's got it dialed in. No one's got everything all built and ready yet. So we need, if we're all about mass adoption, we want all this to happen, then we do have to work together and do this and figure this all out together. So I was always, when you were talking, I was always interested about, Polkadot. I remember asking you about it, and you perked right up. You got stuff going on there. You built.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I love Polkadot.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what's cool about that layer. It's like what do they call it? A zero layer.
Layer zero. Yeah.
Yep. So could you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I can tell you about why we chose Polkadot. So a good thing is like a really big small background of Polkadot is. It was founded by Gavin Woods. So Gavin Woods was one of the original founders of Ethereum. He's very heavily involved in designing and writing Solidity. And then he left, I think in 2005 or 2006, 2000, I think, was it 2005 or 2006? I can't remember, to start to Parity Tech and the Web3 Foundation. And what makes Polkadot unique alongside other blockchains is its focus on interoperability. For those of you in the audience that want to know what interoperability means, it's the communication between chains. So for a very long time, a chain was self-contained. It didn't know what happens outside its chain, right? And that's why Chainlink blew up, because it was able to give you prices of different currencies. And now you have information or state that actually happens outside your chain, and you can now make decisions based on information outside. So what Polkadot is, it takes this to a whole new level. It now is able to allow blockchain A to talk to blockchain B, and not just talk and transferring value, but actually saying, look, I want you to run some specific piece of code or some information. I want you to do it because that's what you're great at. That's what you allows chains to focus on what they're really good at, and then give me that information. So really, that communication allows for a massive wealth of new adoption and innovation. So if you look back into the explosion of mobile phones, when Apple first released the iPhone, we didn't know what a smartphone is. But now you look at your phone and you have all these apps, but the apps themselves are just UIs, and the apps are talking to other servers. So the innovation is happening because of the communication between your phone and these third-party servers that are hosted in places. And that's essentially, to me, what Polkadot is trying to do, allowing these chains or blockchains to communicate. We call them parachains because they're parallel blockchains, but to communicate with each other. And that is, to me, what is the most attractive and exciting thing about Polkadot. We can talk about the consensus layer and the shared security layer and to allow this communication to happen, but it's really about driving innovation and how easy it is to build out blockchains, because it's modular. It's like Legos. It gives you substrate as the framework. It gives you a big box of Legos and say, build your blockchain the way you want to build it, and focus only on the business problem or the core aspect that you're trying to build. And it frees you up around from dealing with consensus and security, because that's handled on the layer 0 on the underlying infrastructure. I hope that makes sense.
It does. That's very cool.